Epstein file drop. Scooby-Doo, where are you? Hi, Scooby-Doo. So Scooby-Doo said that Clinton will be able to speak on the president being in the files under oath. Now, I'm presuming that Scooby-Doo means sitting president right now, President Trump. Will Bill Clinton testify that Trump is in it up to his neck with the Epstein files and the place? Temperance. So that means we're going to get an asi, kosi kind of answer. We're going to get like, well, I think he was there. I thought I saw him walking around with his orange skin. Let's see. Hermit in reverse. Clinton will testify that there were rumors that he's going to give, I don't want to say false witness, but he's going to give almost like second or third hand witness accounts. Well, the girls there said that Donald Trump was staying in my room right before me. I can't believe they'd have that orange man staying there. So down here, the chariot, he's going to try and move the focus off him. King of Teacups, he is trying to regain that likable dude. Three of Quills up top, and the Prince of Quills, rewriting the history, trying to deflect attention off himself. Bill Clinton, if your last reading was accurate, you don't have that much to be worried about. You're just kind of garden variety frat boy. You're just sticking it wherever you can, any opportunity. Sometimes you got to say yes. I want my MTV, guys. I miss MTV. How about you guys? So I think that Bill is going to try and rewrite some history here to try and include another president rather than give actual real testimony. I think he is going to say, somebody told me, this person said this, I sat in the same chair that Donald J. Trump did. I think we're going to hear a lot of that. So, there's going to be suggestive. Now, remember what I said when we first looked at this in the Epstein files. Again, if you haven't seen it, you can go. There's a playlist. You can go watch all my Epstein file videos where we look at all the players, their names that are coming up, and we kind of take that apart. But in that video, I said that when Bill testifies, he's going to plead the fifth. He's not going to remember a lot of stuff. He's going to say, I've been doing a lot of special things my whole life. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I think that we are going to see, well, I was told that he was there. And then, it's going to come to nothing. Is this going to affect Trump at all? Knight of Teacups. I mean, if you know, the people that don't like him, don't like him. The Hierophant, he's still in position of power. 10 of Quills. There's Teflon Don. He's going to be Teflon. I don't think any of this is going to stick to him because I don't really think that you can't say in 1 minute that you can't remember what happened. And then in the next minute, well, one of the waitresses told me that, Donald J. Trump was here. So I think we're going to see a little bit of that. So we are going to shift out of politics and royalty, but we're going to talk about some musical royalty next. So Jane Jordan, hello, my dear. Thank you for your comment. She said, this has nothing to do with Epstein. She was responding to one of my Epstein videos. I've been on a nostalgic journey listening to the angelic voice of Whitney Houston. I know, like her national anthem, nothing compares to it. Actually, I love Meatloaf's. Meatloaf did a really good one too. But Whitney Houston, that is the gold standard, the platinum standard of national anthems. My son and I are really fussy. I trained for music most of my life. I am a singer. My son is an amazing musician with a really good voice. My daughter also has a great voice. And we are both very judgy about the national anthem. So my son and I are very judgy. So Jane wants to know, I'd really like to know what broke her. If that's something I'd be willing to draw cards on. Absolutely. Welcome to the club. And she says, you're one of the very few tarot readers I enjoy on Facebook. Down to earth, practical, and most of all, funny. Thank you. Funny, Funny is a huge compliment for me. I love when people say that I'm funny because I try and be funny. Like sometimes your jokes don't always land right, but my husband is hilarious. Gregopedia, you'll be seeing him here and there on my channel. But Gregopedia, funny was what got me. Funny was what got me. He is tall, dark, and handsome, but funny is what got me. So what was it that broke Whitney? So we're going to look at 3 piles. So this is herself, the machine of the music industry, and then the cabal. What was it? Herself. Machine of the music industry and the cabal. So sadly, I am going to say that she was just really done. The body was really, really worn out. You can do a lot of things and recover energetically and physically, but sometimes that chronic behavior will just really take you to the end of the road. And I do think that this was a bit of the end of the road for her. Again, beautiful voice, another Jersey girl. She's from here in New Jersey. And there's still, I believe, one of her abandoned mansions is still, you can go there. I'm not telling people to go and break into a property or anything, but I think you can still go there and you can still wander around the property. It had all these buckled floors, and I saw it on one of the abandoned mansion channels. But I think the music industry was looking to get more out of her with this 2 of cups. That is 2 great ideas coming together. When I teach tarot, I teach it like we are building a house with the pips, with the numbered cards, and the 2, we find our architect and we get together and kind of discuss our vision for it. So the 2, they were discussing more of what could happen next for her. And then the cabal was waiting for her to show her weaknesses or her strengths. So with that Temperance card, they weren't promoting her, they weren't helping her, they weren't giving her a leg up. They were just kind of watching her and basically watching her fall apart, which is really, really unfortunate. So I think that the body really did that. I think the body kind of fell apart, and there is a point where that happens with chronic use of certain things. So will we see her come back as a singer again? Let's do a little speculation. Let's see if we're going to get her back. Not yet, guys. So, and to be sure, talking about some past life stuff, and you guys know I do private past life regression once a month. Keep an eye on my website and here, whatever social media you're watching this on, keep an eye on my community posts for the next group session that we're going to do. It's online. We just go through a guided meditation. I take you into your past life and you go wander around. It's a really fun thing to do. But when we go from one life to the next lifetime, sometimes with more challenging lives, we have to kind of sit for a little bit on the other side and sort out what direction we are going to go in, what the next life is going to be, how we are going to conduct ourselves in that lifetime. And she's still doing that right now. Will she be a singer in the next lifetime? No. That 5 of Cups there tells me no. They are not going to give her that communication skill. They're actually going to take that away from her. Is that a terrible thing? No, it was an amazing device for her to communicate in this past lifetime, but they are going to give her some other challenges and lessons that she has to learn for the next one. So we'll sit around for that, but I think we got to wait a little bit for her to come on back. So Jane, thank you so much. Thank you for the great compliment. Like I said, funny goes a long way with me. So I appreciate you saying that I'm funny. Thank you. All right, kids, we are going to wrap it up with the big question. And everybody is asking this on all of my videos. So we now have footage of a gentleman that looks a heck of a lot like Jeffrey Epstein with a crazy beard. For a second, I thought maybe it was Bob Weir that came back, but I think Bob Weir has gone the way of Jerry Garcia. So if you want to go tour the Grateful Dead, you're going to have to go do it up in the sky now. But Jeffrey Epstein, alive or dead? Nine of Biscuits, Nine of Pentacles. If it's your first time here, and if you haven't listened to me say this a million times, this is the kept woman. And in the traditional rider way, this bird that she has on her finger is actually a falcon that is hooded, because falcons, bird of prey, apex predator, falcons have some of their freedom taken away when they're taken into captivity. They are taken care of, but they have their freedom taken away. They can't fly. They can't hunt at will. As is the lady, the kept woman behind the walled garden. She exchanges comfort and care for freedom. That being said, Mr. Epstein, if I have to say it, that man is alive, concealed, and well protected. And they are making sure that he is living a clean life while in their care. His basest instincts, like that falcon that I just talked about, have been stopped for the time being. So that's good news for some of us that are living a good, clean life out here. He is not continuing to do what he does. However, he is being kept behind these walls. Why? What do we got? Four of Teacups. They don't know what they're doing with him yet. Queen of Biscuits. When the information runs out, when the drops run out, when the well is dry, justice will be enacted. That's when we're going to see it. Are they saving him for testimony or indictment? So that's going to be a bit of a trick. That'll be a little bit of a trick, because 10 of Candles, they can't really say, you know, oh, he's a decent guy. We just had him out there gathering information. They can't say that. Will we see him in the world? No, we're not going to see the judgment that we want, guys. You know, so for all the young ladies, all of the young people that suffered at the hands of this particular operation, we will not see justice. The events that happened in that prison when the two guards went to sleep and all the cameras stopped working, and, you know, just very unusual, crazy set of domino effect items. That was supposed to satisfy everyone, because remember, plebeians like you and I are supposed to be really stupid, and we're not supposed to look at any of the things that are moving behind that screen. Gotcha there, Wizard of Oz. So the events where he was removed from that facility in a not so viable state, that is supposed to satisfy us. We are supposed to think that that is poetic justice. Is it? No, I disagree. I don't think that it is. But for now, before I am removed from my facility in an unviable state by those black helicopters that go off around our house, I'm going to leave this there for now. So, like I said, guys, tomorrow is going to be 2 for Tuesday, and I'm going to have my members only live go right into my general audience live just for an hour each, make my mods' life so much easier. They, some of my mods mod for a whole bunch of channels. They are the unsung heroes. They really do a great job, and they chit chat with you guys in the comments, and they're just fantastic. And I love them so much. So, so Tuesday, we are going to have 2 for Tuesday. And then we are going to go into our lives. Wednesday is going to be Wicked Wednesday, depending on what happens with the Nancy Guthrie case today. I will be talking about that. Maybe we're going to take apart who the perpetrator is. So Thursday, we're going to do some time travel. We're going to see what would happen if William had never married Catherine. And then Friday, we're going to be live again. We're going to be teaching all week. So look for those videos. And absolutely go on over and check out the website. I'm still working on it. It's my first foray into like building a website. Go over and check out the website at www.fortunecookiestarot.com and sign up for the newsletter, because I send out all kinds of stuff about classes that I'm doing or sales that I'm doing. And if you're not on the mailing list, you may not get all that information. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you're having a great start to your week, and I will see you in the future.